If you run a Shopify store, you already know the problem with most AI product photography. You ask for a clean hero image, and the model hands you a glowing, oversaturated bottle with text that looks like an alien language. It is a plastic, unusable output that immediately flags your brand as cheap. That changes with the release of ChatGPT Images 2.0. OpenAI integrated 3 specific mechanical upgrades: a native reasoning layer, near-perfect text rendering, and multi-image consistency. Over the next few minutes, we are going to take a completely blank prompt, build it into a production-ready product hero shot, and then scale that exact style into a cohesive 8-image brand carousel. These upgrades signal a shift for indie designers, moving AI out of the brainstorming phase and into a primary production role. The most common mistake in amateur prompting is stacking aesthetic adjectives. Throwing words like stunning, hyper-realistic, and masterpiece into your prompt actually dilutes the image quality by confusing the model's optical focus. The 7-part prompt formula mimics a photography brief. The UI populates. Subject is an amber glass botanical serum. Style is editorial. Composition is overhead. We lock optics with soft diffused daylight and a 50mm lens. Finally, mood is premium, constrained to a 4:5 ratio. This split screen shows the difference. On the left is the output from a legacy prompt asking for a beautiful product photo. On the right is the direct result of our 7-part formula, a grounded, photorealistic asset. Constraining the model with specific optical parameters rather than aesthetic wishes creates a predictable path towards photorealism. Even with a structured prompt, the model can still default to a few recognizable errors. The most obvious is the over-edited HDR look, where shadows are unnaturally deep and colors are pushed too far. To neutralize this, we add specific negative constraints to our prompt. We instruct the model to use gentle midtones and explicitly ban HDR processing altogether. The second major failure mode is the blank background trap. When you ask for a pure white background, the model renders the product with 0 environmental context, making it look like a poorly cut out sticker. To physically ground the object, we adjust our optical vocabulary. Instead of white background, we command the model to render a seamless backdrop with a soft floor reflection and a subtle drop shadow. Explicitly instructing the model on what not to do carries just as much weight as describing what it should do. 2 years ago, asking an image model for a spelled-out product label guaranteed a failure. Now, the model natively renders precise text across multiple languages without hallucinating characters. To activate this, we use the rule of quoted strings. Any unquoted text in your prompt is treated as a physical description, but the moment you wrap a phrase in quotation marks, the model treats it as literal content to render on the asset. Let's apply this to our serum prompt. We instruct the model to write the brand name TerraNote at the top and add the volumetric 30 ml E at the bottom. Looking closely at this macro shot, you can see the result. The model followed the exact spelling and adhered to the requested elegant serif font style, resulting in a perfectly legible label. Reliable in-engine text generation eliminates the need to composite basic product labels in post-production. This strips hours of manual labor out of the asset pipeline. Generating a single hero image is the first step. To scale this into a full campaign, we switch from instant mode to thinking mode. This engages an agentic reasoning layer that handles complex spatial planning. We use this to execute the 8-image carousel pattern. From a single prompt, the model drafts varied shots, combining flat lays, including extreme macros, and lifestyle contexts, featuring the exact same product line. To ensure the aesthetics don't drift across the batch, we use a brand locking technique. Prepending exact hex codes, photography styles, and typography rules forces the model to maintain visual identity across the entire cascade. Thinking mode consumes more compute tokens and takes longer to process than instant mode. However, for campaign-level continuity, that trade-off in latency is necessary. Agentic reasoning effectively moves the workflow upstream, allowing for the coordination of entire product launches through a single planning phase. Here is the final result: an 8-image carousel for the TerraNote skincare line. Every single panel shares consistent lighting, accurate typography, and a unified brand identity. If you manage thousands of SKUs, this workflow doesn't have to stay in the browser. These exact prompt structures and masking capabilities port directly into the OpenAI API to build fully automated rendering pipelines. To bypass the trial and error, head over to the Design Delight Studio website. You can grab all 100 paste-ready prompts and the reusable skill templates we use to build this exact workflow. Mastering this framework allows for the replacement of generic AI artifacts with brand-locked commercial photography.